let's go ahead and dive into session 2 of Trouble in Theondir. So last we left off, our group of intrepid adventurers comprised of Grogil, the half-orc fighter. I got that right, Grogil. Yep, Bholen, the high elf cleric, and Traego, the halfling rogue, had all gathered in the Tavern port city of Heraldheim to be smuggled onto the ship, the Lowlifes. The plan was to be given safe passage to the harbor city of Haldir on the Island of Theondir, or as the locals call it, the Island of Falandir. All of this was in response to a summons from Melathon, head of security in the city of Theondir, a summons that to each of the adventurers still remains something of a mystery. On the morning of their departure, it took all but a few minutes for things to go horribly awry. After being gathered by the first mate Goddard and led to the ship, the group's progress was abruptly impeded by a surprise customs check. After attempts to defuse a tense situation by means of Traego's more refined methods came up short, the group turned instead to trusty old violence. The result, 3 guards left dead on the docks, with Grogil himself barely avoiding annihilation at the hands of Bholen's magic. What had been a smuggling venture from the beginning had now turned into an escape operation. The ship was readied in a flash. The crew set sail, and the port of Heraldheim was quickly left behind. Once at sea, Captain Barnard had some choice words for his smuggled goods, and Traego would later learn the plan that would put the group in grave danger. In response, the group forged a writ from Theondir guaranteeing additional payment upon safe delivery of the adventurers, and with that, the captain was temporarily satiated. As such, the adventurers drew back to their quarters for their final night of sleep on the open waters. The sound of distant cannon fire, shouting on the main deck, the pounding of footsteps. You're suddenly awoken in the early hours of the morning by the deafening din of the alarm. Boom. On the main deck. You quickly jump out of your hammocks and run up through the confusion of the salty morning air. In the distance, you see a barricade of ships swiftly moving towards the Willow Weeper. Ships that you immediately recognize as belonging to the Theondir Navy. Splashes all around as warning shots come from all directions. And in the midst of the chaos, you see standing in the middle of the quarterdeck, Captain Barnard, clutching the writ and staring with resolve into the fast-moving fleet flying towards your own vulnerable vessel. Well, my adventurers, what would you like to do?
How many ships are there?
From what you can see, there's a handful. I mean, there's at least 5, 6, 7, 8.
And
do we have a white sheet?
They're coming quickly. Yeah. They're bearing down on you pretty quickly.
I'm going to tell the captain to raise the white flag and disarm all of his sailors and soldiers or whatever he's got.
So Captain Barnard looks at you, Traego, and you can see, I mean, he's not surprised about what's happening. He expected this as you sailed into enemy waters. So he nods sort of respectfully. You can tell he's quite serious now, and he orders the crew to raise the white flag to show that you have no aggressive intentions. And after a few minutes, a couple sleek ships start to come next to your own ship here. And within it, with the creaking of weathered ropes, gangplanks from each of the ships begin to come down, drop across the water onto the main deck of your ship. And immediately, a host of soldiers carrying a mix of bows, crossbows, and swords come flooding onto the main deck from both sides. And following behind this first surge is a smaller group of more elite-looking soldiers, with one of the individuals clearly standing out as the captain. A man adorned with a long white flowing robe under gleaming silver armor, holding a skull-shaped, bone-colored meerschaum pipe between his teeth. And the fragrance...
Hold on. Say that again?
A bone-colored meerschaum pipe is between his teeth. Meerschaum, it's this kind of the kind of material you get in Turkey. It's kind of like a stone. Danny, can you explain?
Well, I was going to say, you know, the white pipes that you see carved with fancy stuff, that's meerschaum.
Okay.
It's a cool...
How the hell you know that surprises me, but all right.
Because I have pipes.
It's a good material because the more you smoke it, the darker it gets. It gets more of a caramel. it's still.
Matt, your
smell
sound is kind of.
Yeah, you're breaking up for
you're
me.
breaking up.
Oh, there you go.
I'm breaking up. All right.
As they're sailing towards our ship, I'm gonna walk over to the captain and request the writ the forged writ, and tell him if anybody hands us over but me, then there could be trouble.
You're covering your tracks there, Chino.
Yeah, so what was on the writ again? It was something about safe passage,
It was safe
right?
passage for the three of us, delivered to whatever for like 2,000 gold each, I think is what we said. I didn't take any notes.
So we're so screwed.
You guys offer. You said that it was from Theondir, guaranteeing 2,000 gold for each of you upon safe passage. So Barnard Traego looks at you, and he says, "I've got this under control." And he moves his hand to the side of his torso, where he has his pistol. So he's obviously telling you to back off.
Okay. All right.
Do you think we should hide? Should we hide?
No, no.
Should we?
What we need?
Should
guys,
we try and take over the ship? Should we kill the captain?
See, once these guys know who we are,
well,
they're gonna let us pass. But Barnard is gonna take that gun out and probably shoot Chad in the face.
So I don't know how you guys are aligned, but I was just planning if you didn't give it to me, I was just gonna say like, that is not ours. We didn't do that. I have no idea what that's from. I was gonna pawn it off on the captain.
Okay, so the other guards are on the ship right now, right?
Yeah, so
maybe we should back off
and both sides pouring in, and they've got crossbows, they've got arrows in their bows, and they've got other weapons as well. There's a lot of people pouring in right now.
Well, I'm kind of raising my hand. I'm gonna pull out my the real note that we got from whatever, saying like summoning us to the king or whatever.
All right, so you're gonna hold that. You're gonna hold that.
I'm just gonna hold it up and just kind of have it out ready for the new captain to come take a look at.
Excellent. So the captain he walks across the gangplank. And he goes right up to Barnard, because Barnard is standing there with a stance of authority, and he walks up and he says, "You're the captain of this vessel, I presume." And he draws his sword and places it within inches of Barnard's throat. And you realize that you sailed without permission into the waters of Theondir. And Barnard...
Okay, so I push Chad forward towards the dude.
Yeah, I'm going to raise my voice and say, actually, Captain, we have a summons. My companions that I have received summons from you. It's from the king, right? I don't have notes of... What did our actual summons say?
Read it.
I'm going to leave that up to you.
Have it.
I'm kidding.
No, the ones that we got summoning us to the king for the mission or whatever.
Right. That was from Melathon, head of security, summoning you to come to Theondir Keep.
From Melathon, head of security. And so I say, my companions and I have summons from Melathon, head of security, summoning us to Theondir, and this ship is the ship that we have booked for passage. And I kind of walk forward and I hand out my my writ or whatever.
So the captain takes his sword, which is inches away from Barnard's throat, and he swings it towards you, Trevor. And he obviously lowers it a little bit because you're quite a bit shorter. And he looks at you and says, "And may I ask who you are?"
My name is Traego Tanglewood.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Bramblewood or somthing?
That was who I was impersonating.
Oh, okay.
What is who I was impersonating.
And Barnard is a little bit irritated now because you've stepped sort of forward. I mean, this turf. This is his authority as captain being a captain. And he looks at you and says, "All right, I think you need to step back a little bit and let the captain take care of this issue."
Hey, Matt, I got to be honest. Your audio isn't great.
Yeah, it's
really
kind of breaking up quite a bit.
You want to reboot? Really? Should we pause and you can reboot?
Yeah, you should restart.
Should I try that?
Yeah.
You're just you're very choppy.
Okay. I'll check in a second then.
Yep.
Where did we leave off here? Captain Barnard turns to Traego and says, if I were you, I would step back and let the captain take care of this issue. This is a captain-to-captain discussion.
Fuck, I don't know.
I'm backing off. Yeah. I'm backing off. I'm going to the bow of the ship, or wherever the back is. Bow of the stern. I don't know which one.
I swing my mace at Barnard.
Oh.
Or my Morning Star.
You're gonna swing your Morning Star at Barnard?
Yep. I'm an idiot, and I'm gonna play that up.
Oh my god.
We're gonna die.
I'm not helping you. I'm backing off.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll some initiative then for Barnard.
Oh, god damn it.
You guys are pulling out, or are you guys gonna be a part of this comeback?
I'm not gonna be a part of this.
I'm gonna roll initiative.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll initiative, everybody. But you don't have to partake in the combat.
Okay.
That was a really bad one.
That's good.
9.
9 for me as well.
Okay, Grogil is 9. Bholen, you're 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
9. And mine's a 18.
Whoa. You know, we could really use your help here, buddy.
Who, me?
Oh,
Traego. Traego, you're up first. What do you want to do here?
Wait, so Eric swings first, though, right?
No, we enter combat. I make an action that makes it where we enter combat, right, Matt?
Yeah, we'll say that. We're running into combat. You pull out your Morning Star.
And that's what does it.
And yeah, right. You show some aggressivity against the captain. Wait, this is not going as I had.
All right, I'm gonna turn to Eric and try to calm him down. I don't know how to calm down. You're what, like 7 feet tall or some shit?
Do a persuasion. I would have him do it. Well,
yeah.
Okay, I'm not the DM.
Yeah, no, let's go for it.
I'll
tell you what. He's up right now, so give me a persuasion check. Let's make this a hard DC. So let's make it a DC of a 20. So go ahead and say to him what you want to say, and give me a roll.
And I turn to Grogil and I'm like, no, calm down. There's no need for violence yet.
Okay, so let's lower it to 18.
Okay,
nice choice of
good.
All right, so I need to hit an 18.
What's your modifier?
18 plus 6 modifier. Plus 6 modifier. Not quite there.
So Grogil looks at you and he's
rolled a 9, so I'm at 15.
So he's gonna try to take a swing, and as he does that was your action, Traego. The captain now has a higher initiative than you, Grogil. He sees that you're making this move on him, steps back, and he's gonna go ahead and take a shot at you. Holy whoa!
Oh no!
Let's see. Yeah, that's a 23. What's your AC?
AC is 18.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a hit. And that's 12 slashing damage.
All right, I'm still okay.
We went back up to full hit points, right? From the 2 days that we arrested.
Full residence. You're good. You're full hit points again. So the captain sees you making this move at him, and he pulls out this weapon, just slash, cuts right into your side and causes 12 damage. What are you at there, Grogil? How many points do you have?
I have 8 left now. So I have 20.
Okay.
I have 20. Don't worry. Tim can heal me.
Turn.
I'm not doing shit to you.
And let's see, Bholen, you're up next.
I am going to move back, and I'm going to take out my fiddle and start playing. And get a little music for you guys.
Whoa! You got a fiddle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how fiddle sounds in Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm proficient in fiddle.
Did you randomly roll that on a table or something?
No, it's part of my my background of being a hermit. I can be proficient in a musical instrument.
So as Grogil takes a shot to the side with an axe.
Just picture this, you guys.
Axe. Blood is sort of spewing out of Grogil's side, and Bholen steps back and starts playing a little ditty on his fiddle.
I'm not sure who I want to hit with my Morning Star. You or the
captain? I'm gonna say we need Grogil. I need you to learn a little bit of patience, and humility before haphazardly diving into
The last
violence.
time you did that, you burned me to death. No, I'm
That's
taking
true.
a swing. I'm killing the captain.
So Grogil, you're up, Grogil. What do you want to do?
I want to take my Morning Star and kill this bastard. Oh, that's not gonna work. Shit. 4.
4. So
How did you?
you come
Well,
swinging in with
it's
your
11. It's 11.
Grogil's getting a
11. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Getting
not
a
going to be
lesson.
enough. You come swinging with your Morning Star, and as you come down, the captain just sort of nonchalant to the side. I mean, it's so obvious you're slow and you're huge and you're swinging slowly. He just kind of steps aside and almost laughs at you there. So we're back to Traego. You want to do anything?
Well, I get cunning action. I get a bonus action every round in combat to dash, disengage, and hide. So is dashing just double movement?
Hold
Double
on,
movement.
my turn isn't over yet.
It's not.
Nope.
You can move. That's
I
about
got
all
an
you can do.
No, I got an action surge I'm gonna do. Take
All
an
right, let me,
additional action, your turn shorter, and then it resets after a short or a long rest. Ooh, excuse
Didn't
me.
you already use your action though?
No, but I have an additional one. It's one of my abilities.
That's cool.
You throw you guys in here. Bholen, you're over here hiding, huh?
Yes, I'm in the back. Playing my fiddle. Playing
All right, what do you got,
I don't know.
Grogil?
All right, here we go, boys. No whammies. It's 24.
There you go.
24. Yeah, that's a hit. Roll the damage.
1d8 plus 7. Oh, 8. It's 15 total.
Oh, nice.
Smoked.
So, the captain gets a strike across the shoulder. Blood sort of flies out, and he kind of turns to you and says, looks you right in the eye and says, "It was a good one, Grogil, but I'm coming back."
Uh-oh.
Traego, what do you want to do?
He's got to be close to dead, dude.
I want to like.
You realize we're killing the person that is potentially going to give us safe passage. We killed this
No,
captain.
no,
We're killing
we're
the
killing
captain of the
Barnard.
ship, Barnard.
Oh, we're killing Barnard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to cover up for your goddamn
Yeah.
forgery.
Oh,
Before
okay.
we got into this,
I thought
Are you
Yeah.
paying attention?
I thought you attacked the other captain guy.
No, he went for Barnard.
Okay.
Okay, how bad hurt? Like, can I tell? Like, is he like still mobile, or is he pretty much down on his knees, screwed?
I mean, he's still doing okay. I mean, that was a pretty serious blow, but he's not
Okay.
bloodied yet.
Okay. How do I get advantage on him? Like, if I dash behind him, and like I'm behind him, do I have advantage on him when I attack?
You
Is
should.
that how
that
he's
works?
engaged. He's engaged with Grogil.
Yeah,
So
he's
you
engaged
should-
with Grogil right here. So yeah, he's you're not gonna have too much you can do there as far as surprising him. I mean, we're all in combat. Everything's kind of working now.
But if he like how, so if he's engaged with Grogil, I can't use a sneak attack.
So I think your sneak attack's gonna be if you surprise him. But I mean, we're all everyone's pretty aware of it now.
All
That
right.
you're in combat.
So I thought it was like a backstab, like I could get behind
Yeah,
him.
I think that's true. I think you get
I
a sneak
mean, I
attack
remember that's
if
what it was
he's
in
engaged
last-
with somebody else
Is it?
and you run around to the back and
Yeah.
attack
Quick-
him.
quick-
He's not
quick-
going to know that you're
quick
attacking
look
him.
Quick look under the class chat. It should say.
Well, it says sneak attack. Once per turn, deal 1d6 damage if you have advantage on attack roll, or if other enemy within 5 feet with finesse or ranged weapon.
Well, what does advantage mean though?
I was
So you-
reading up on that before, and it kind of doesn't really.
You would have advantage if you surprised him. If he didn't know
Yeah.
you were there and you came up and jumped him, you'd have advantage there.
Yeah, I would say that in this situation you probably don't.
Well, I could stealthy. I can attempt to hide even when obscured only by a creature that is at least one size larger.
Yeah, but I don't think that's when you're in combat. We're in
Yeah.
combat phase now.
Okay.
DM, make a ruling.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
It's up to
what. We'll say we won't give you advantage this time because he's got a pretty good sight on you there.
And then which one am I on the ship?
You're right here.
Okay. And the guy in the red, kind of there, that's the captain.
Here's Bholen. Here's the. This is Captain Barnard right here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna dash. Use my cunning action to dash. Where I guess it doesn't matter. Just move to him, and I'm gonna go. How do I disarm him? Is there something special for disarming him, like getting the gun out of his hand?
You can grapple him if you want. You can like hold on to him, but that's gonna be your strength versus his strength.
Yeah. My strength is shit. All right, I guess I'm just gonna go for him with my
rapier. Go for it.
14 plus my plus 6, so 20.
You got it. You hit him. Roll damage.
What is the other captain doing during this?
Oh, where's my 8-sider?
We'll get to him in a second.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh. I didn't really think about that.
I did 8 damage.
8 damage. Wow, nice.
8.
All right, so Barnard takes another hefty blow from the little guy now, slicing him across the thigh, and he now falls down to one knee. And at this point, at the sight of him falling down, great question over there, Bholen. Now, with his sword, steps in and throws his sword, slices his sword right between the two of you, and he raises his hand to him. And you've got another 10 guys, maybe 12, who are holding crossbows and bows, facing directly at all of you. That's enough. I'm in control here.
Even though I'm stupid, I think I get the pet message.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop playing my fiddle.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
So you guys back down, and the captain. He's dripping blood off of his side and off of his thigh now. He's really hurting. And this captain now he snaps his fingers again, and a few more guards even come on now. I mean, this is a serious tense situation. And the captain turns back to Barnard and says, "Once again, whose permission are you here on?" And Barnard says, "We have permission," and he gives him the writ. The captain.
It's a fake. It's a fake. He forged it. It's not real.
Here's the captain. He takes the writ and he pauses for a second, and he you can see him unrolling the sort of yellowish document. His eyes are kind of rolling, scanning down it, and he takes another long draft through his pipe, and he removes the pipe from his mouth and turns to Barnard. He says, "What kind of simpleton do you think I am? Illegally entering our waters with a forged document." And he takes the tip of the writ and dips it into his pipe, and the writ starts to burn. It's on fire, and he lets it fall to the ground as it floats down like a feather to the ship, the Willow Weeper. And Barnard is sort of desperate now. He's bloody, he's desperate, and he shouts out in desperation, "But we have another document!" But the captain says, "All in due time." He snaps his fingers again. "Guards, seize the ship and take care of the crew." And you see now as a handful of soldiers begin to walk across the gangplanks now, carrying rusty manacles, heading straight towards you guys.
Okay, once again, I'm going to pull out mine and be like, Captain, or the new captain, whatever his name is, reminding him that we actually do have safe passage. Me and my unintelligent friend and the fiddle player have been actually summoned by your head of security.
So the captain pauses. He puts his hand up again. I mean, he's got a massive amount of authority here. Puts his hand up, and he says, "Little man, come here." He gestures to you, Traego.
Yep, I walk up. No, like I have my sword's gone, like everything. I don't have anything in my hands. Just I
need to interject. I dropped my Morning Star on the deck. I actually drop it. I don't put it away. I drop it.
That's good because you're now surrounded by about 8 crossbowmen who are all pointing directly at you. Obviously, you're the kind of hot-headed threat here, so they all have their weapons pointed at you. And Traego, you walk over to the captain. What are you gonna do?
Well, he waved at me, so I just kind of walk over to him. Yeah.
Okay. He says,
and
the captain says, What is this you speak of? Speak quickly. Show me quickly.
I have our summons, and I hand them over, and I say we have actually been summoned by our head of security, and that's what I say.
The captain extends his hand. He receives your summons, pulls over and looks at it, and he sees the wax. He sees the authentic signet ring mark on the wax seal, and it's obviously been broken. You've read the summons, but he looks at it. He reads the summons. He looks back at you and says, "Are you indeed Traego?"
I am Traego Tanglewood.
And what of these other fools you're traveling with?
I'll give him my copy. I'm gonna take mine out and I'll give him mine.
You walk over. He opens it up. Bholen. And what of the aggressive, angry one?
I turn back to him and I nod and kind of like giving him encouragement to, because I'm assuming he's smart enough to copy what we're doing.
Yeah, I give him mine.
Okay, so Traego, you receive Bholen's copy. You bring it over to the captain. He picks that up as well, and he sees once again the signet ring mark in the wax, and he recognizes that this is an authentic document. He sort of looks over at Barnard as if to say, "You are an idiot." That he was so easily fooled by this forged document. He looks back to you and says, "Very well. We shall pilot your ship into the harbor, Haldir Harbor, where you may dock long enough to resupply. But once you have finished, Captain, you will need to leave immediately. The rest of you can be on your way." So he steps back, and the soldiers begin to put down their weapons. And the soldiers from this other crew begin to take over, and they begin to pilot your ship to turn it towards Haldir Harbor. And you start to sail into the harbor under the direction of the new captain and his crew. The rest of the crew is sort of standing behind, watching all this happen, sort of shaking in their boots, afraid of everything that happened. Anything you want to do in the interim while you're moving into the harbor?
You're welcome, boys.
I'm gonna walk over to Eric and, next time, wait for my signal.
I picked my Morning Star up and put it in its sheath or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So how long is it from here to the harbor?
It's gonna take you probably another 45 minutes or so to get into the harbor.
Do I got time to go use a hit die to gain back some hit points?
We got 45 minutes, so if you want to use a hit die, go ahead. You can do that. We'll say it's long enough for you guys to get a short rest in. So go for it.
Boy, you don't got to shake a 10 very often. Oh wait, yeah you do. 3.
Well, plus your whatever, right? Or is it just...
No, it's just the hit die, right, Matt?
Just the hit die.
Just a hit die and a short rest. Yep.
Isn't it plus your constitution modifier?
Not when you're regaining on a short rest.
Oh,
that's
it's just
only
a long
when you're
rest?
No. Well, actually, I don't know, Matt. What is it on that?
There we go.
So if I roll my hit die and I roll a 3, I gain 3 hit points back?
Let me check that. Yeah, it should be that. Plus, it should be plus your constitution modifier.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right, actually.
So,
for each hit die you roll.
I only rolled 1. Okay.
All right.
While we're sailing, I'm going to walk up to Barnard and just tell him, "See, I told you not to fuck with us."
Son of a bitch, Brinkley, you haven't shaken your nose. I mean, Bholen.
I told you the Lord of Light would protect us.
I respond, stop with the Game of Thrones bullshit.
All right, so you guys are cruising into Herald Harbor now. Haldir Harbor. And as the ship pulls into the docks, you're immediately struck with the contrast of this harbor to Heraldheim. Whereas Heraldheim was dirty and worn down, this harbor is well kept and clean. The wharfs are constructed of large, cut yellow and white stone slabs in pristine condition. And the edge of the dock is lined by beautifully polished white and reddish granite blocks that step up over several levels to the foot of the city. And most of the ships that you see here in the harbor are military vessels. They're all flying the flag of Theondir. And upon landing, the crew from the Navy spring into action, securing the vessel, pulling you up here to the dock, and preparing the gangplanks for disembarkment. And within a few minutes, the ship is ready to be disembarked. So what would you guys like to do?
Wait, we have free reign? They're not escorting us or anything?
Well, they put down the gangplanks, and boom, there you go. And the captain now, the other captain from the Navy is asking you to step off the ship.
Do we still have our summons then?
You still have your summons. He gave those back to you. Yep.
I'm going to approach the captain and ask him for directions to the head of security that summoned us.
Okay, well, the captain says, well, you'll need to be going up to Theondir, and that's going to be a slight overland journey. Now, my suggestion for you is that you head into town, and you find someone there to get you passage across the overland journey.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. I'm thirsty. It's been a little bit since we ate. Let's find a bar or restaurant or whatever.
Tavern, an inn, as they would call it.
Yeah.
You guys have a Chili's here?
Is the Applebee's 2 for $10 still going on?
Yeah, and I respond, actually, that's a very good idea. I could use a pint myself.
All right, so you guys
Captain, what is the local tavern or inn close by that you would recommend?
The captain says, there's several up here. I frequently go to the what's it called here? Let me look it up. I frequent the Crow's Crown. That's one of my the places that I frequent. But if you just go up the main avenue, you'll find plenty of places. But listen up, don't make any more trouble, especially you, Green Man. We don't need trouble here. We've got plenty of people to watch you. Get to Theondir. Take care of your business there. I don't want to mess with Melathon. He's a higher authority than me. But get out of my harbor, because this is my turf.
I don't say anything.
Is it busy? Are there a lot of people around?
So there's a lot of activity here. So there's the ships are being loaded and unloaded, all these military vessels, and you can tell that there is a lot of stuff going on. There's a among the soldiers here, as if there's something big happening in the conflict between Theondir and Taravan. There's a lot of action, ships being unloaded, unloaded, and like ants going across a branch. There's just soldiers running across gangplanks going into ships. I mean, there's a lot of action going on right now, which makes you suspect this is probably why you had such a strong reaction when you guys showed up in their waters, the enemy waters. So you guys are gonna head into town then?
Yeah,
hey,
let's head into town. And
I have a question for you, but I don't want anybody else to hear it. Can you guys take your headphones off just real quick?
Yep.
There's your money. So do they know about here I'm not famous though, right? You know, for killing the one guy?
No, I wouldn't say so. Yeah. The word hasn't quite gotten here yet.
Okay, we're good.
So as you guys start to head down the docks now, you're going to head to the center over here where you're going to start heading into town. And as you do that, you walk past the captain, Barnard. He's been healed up a little bit. He's sitting here talking to the main military wharf master, and he's getting his payment. He's showing his other document. He had another document as well, a more official document from Theondir that he's showing to the wharf master, and he's getting his payment. And as you guys walk by, he stares you down, and he lingers especially on you, Traego. And he turns to you and he says, "If I were you, I'd watch my back. Baron Bramblewood. Captain Barnard is not known to be one to forget a debt." And with that, he makes a slashing movement across his throat, and he spits in the direction.
Should have killed him.
I'm going to pull out a gold piece and flick it at him.
Ting, ting, ting,
yep,
ting,
a
ting.
tip.
Bounces on the deck. He doesn't flinch. He just stares you down.
All right.
Oh, don't be a greedy bastard and pick it up.
I keep walking.
So you guys keep walking. All you're going to head over here now to this entry. Here's the stairs leading up into town. And as you almost reach the stairs, you hear this voice from across the harbor. It's all the way from across the decks. You hear this, hello, hello. And you look and you see this tiny little hobbled man with a gray beard and long gray hair. He's bent over, hobbling with a stick, approaching as quickly as he can muster, coming up to you. And as he comes closer to you, you can almost taste the stench of manure and mold that's trailing him. His tattered clothes are draping off of his emaciated body. And as he looks up, you see that his eyes are sort of wildly moving around as they're trying to focus on something, but they can't quite do it. And he comes right up to you, all of you, and he bows before you, and he says, finally, you have come to us. And he turns to Grogil and Traego, the servants of the true royalty. And then he turns to you, Bholen, a little more seriously. He says, the royal line is being restored. And he leans in and whispers in your ear, I too have walked the fields of gold, and I have seen the tree of light.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm going to put my forehead up to his forehead, and I'm just going to whisper and say, hail, good friend, hail.
I'm going to pull up my morning star.
No. Can we hear what they're saying?
You guys didn't quite catch that. You saw Bholen. Okay. You saw him lean in and whisper something, and Bholen whispered something back. And Grogil, you pull out your morning star, and he sees you, and he sort of backs off and almost puts.
All right, Grogil, relax. Yeah. This is a friend. Just chill the fuck out.
Do they have what kind of swear words do they have in D&D?
Yeah, that works. This is common, so there's plenty of good words in common. And so Bholen, I mean, he senses there's a friendship here, so he comes closer to you, and he grabs your hand on his shoulder, and he takes your hand and he turns it over, and he places something into it and closes your fingers over it, and he says, "Oh, the glory, the glory, the glory." And just then a dog barks and runs by. And the old man, he turns and he says, indeed, the king is among us, your majesty. I have found the key to eternal life. Wait, I will tell you all of the secrets you would want to know. Wait. And he runs away. As quickly as he came, he departs from your presence, shouting and chasing after the stray dog that crossed his path. And you're left there by yourselves, Bholen. You have something in your hand that no one else has seen. But you're clutching an item.
I grab his arm and try to get it from him.
I'm gonna pull back.
All right, take a dexterity test. Well, let's do a dexterity contest. So both of you roll a d20, add your dexterity bonus.
17.
16.
So Grogil is able to grab your arm, and he pulls his arm towards you, and he starts to pry open your fingers. Take a strength test.
Me?
Both of you. Yep, strength test. Strength versus strength.
I'm not gonna like the end of this one.
18.
24.
So Grogil successfully pulls your fingers back and pulls it out, and there he sees, resting in your palm, is something. It's a brass ring of sorts, with sort of cryptic markings in some strange language that none of you recognizes.
Yeah.
Can I read it?
No, you don't recognize it. No.
So I see it's just a ring, and I let go. I mean, I don't care about a ring.
Okay, so you let go, and Bholen, you're left there holding your ring.
I'm gonna put it on.
Let's go to that inn. Hey, are you sure?
Wait a minute. What'd you say? You want to?
What are we doing here, Tim? You said something. Eric.
I'm gonna put the ring on.
Okay.
Does anything happen if I put the ring on?
You're gonna put it on. Okay. All right. You slide the ring on your finger.
That's probably a bad idea.
Take a Constitution. Take a Constitution save.
Oh fuck.
The little box there where it has Constitution saves. Yeah. Take a Constitution save. Roll that out and let me know what you get.
6.
6. All right. You take 4 damage.
What the hell?
And as if awakening from a deep sleep, you're sort of struck with this bright light, and you're standing there once again with the ring in your hand, and nothing has happened, but you feel like you've been jolted, and you've taken 4 damage from that.
Interesting. So I wake up and I'm not wearing the ring anymore.
You sort of come to after this the bolt of energy, and you're standing there, and the ring is sitting in the palm of your hand.
Interesting.
And what do we see?
You guys, you see as he puts the ring on, you see his eyes roll back and they go sort of white, and he kind of shakes a little bit, and then you see him actually take the ring off and set it back in his palm, and when he does that, sort of shakes his head a little bit and comes to, and there he is standing with the ring in his hand.
Cool.
All right. I'm going to give him a weird look and then kind of just start walking towards in the center of town.
All right. So
do we want to actually go to this inn? Because if the captain goes there, I'm assuming there are a lot of soldiers and sailors go there, and that might not be a great place for us to get drunk.
I disagree, though, because we showed it to a high-level NPC, and I mean he bought it, so it's legit. We're going to get a beer.
What if Goddard's crew is in that tavern?
I would say the crew, they're probably still.
Yeah, the crew's they're still on the ship. They're still
on the ship.
The stuff. So you guys have a good head start on them at least.
And they're just
they have to leave.
They're resupplying and leaving.
They're resupplying and they got to get the heck out of there. And so they've got soldiers watching them very closely because obviously they don't trust Barnard either.
I got a feeling we're
going to otherwise, you guys, when you try to, Grogil, when you try to kill him, they don't trust Barnard either. He's a pirate for all they know. So they care less if you kill them.
That was nice. You got any residuals there, Danny?
Oh, could you guys hear that?
Yeah.
And saw it.
My screen's wet.
So you guys are gonna start heading towards the town.
Yep.
Okay, so you walk up that main stairway with the granite stairs, and you come and you see there's a long avenue ahead of you, and you can see at the end of it, it looks like there's something of a marketplace, and the avenue it's beautiful cobblestone, and it's lined on both sides by these sort of Tudor-style buildings. They have wooden beams with brick between them. The second floor, you've seen these medieval kind of buildings are sticking out over a little bit, hanging over the street. Really nice, beautiful buildings. And as you start walking down this avenue, you suddenly hear a loud thud as a door on the ground level of one of the buildings to your right swings open, and you catch a glimpse, and hanging down there is actually a sign where it says the Crow's Crown. And you see 2 thick and burly dwarves with large, overgrown white beards, bloodshot eyes, missing teeth. They're dragging out a rough-looking man who is wriggling and twisting in protest, and they toss him out on the street and throw a pile of cards onto his chest. And one of them says, "Right, no, my little friend, far too many high cards in your hand, and far too many in your sleeves. Time to pay up." And he nods to his comrade, and they both reach behind their backs and pull out their battle axes. Oh, no. Niv, go ahead and describe yourself.
It's me.
Okay.
You're able to speak, right?
Yeah, he's lying on the ground. This guy you just saw wriggling got thrown on the ground, the cards thrown on his chest, and the 2 dwarves pull out battle axes and start to step over him. Niv, go ahead and describe yourself.
Okay, I'm a human, 40 years old, average height.
No, I don't think that's what he meant.
Well,
explain the situation.
Okay, well, that's what I'm wondering.
No, go ahead. This is good to see what you look like, too.
Because just so you guys know, I'm just a regular old human guy, but... So I'm laying on the ground, and they're coming at me, or they're coming at those guys?
Oh, they're coming at you. I mean, they're ticked.
Better say so.
Obviously, you've been in a card game, and you've been cheating, and they caught you, and they're ready to take some money out of you.
Okay. And I just try and cover for myself, start picking up the cards, and say to them, "It's not my fault you guys are so bad at this game."
You're gonna fit right in.
And the one dwarf, he takes his battle axe closer to him, and he in a sort of really crude way kind of licks the blade, and he says, "Well, it's not very often that you have cards up your sleeves now, is it, my friend?"
So I walk up and pick him up off the ground. Or are they on top of him?
Ooh. No, they're walking. I mean, they're walking over to him. They threw him out a good distance.
I pick him up and I throw him behind me.
You throw him behind.
Yeah.
They're sort of taken aback. You guys come up from the side and enter the scene, and they sort of step back and I mean, they see you're a pretty big dude, obviously, so they lower their axes down and they look at you and say, "Right, this doesn't have anything to do with you."
And I say, for 5 gold pieces, you can have them.
For 5 gold pieces, he's not worth a single copper piece.
And I'm gonna butt in and kind of push myself back in front of Eric towards the dwarves, and say that this is with me. He just can't count very well, and so what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to convince them that he is actually with me. Eric's just not smart enough to realize whose side he's on right now.
So take a deception check there, Niv. Go ahead and roll a d20 and add your bonus for your deception there. So you're calling there for deception. Go ahead and roll that out. So it should be charisma bonus if you have a charisma bonus there.
Yeah, that's a deception is a +3. Oh, a whole 6.
A 6. Is that after your bonus?
That's after the bonus.
Oh my gosh. This was a pretty easy thing to do because you can see both of these dwarves are quite inebriated. They've been drinking a ton. So it wouldn't take much to convince them. They both look at you as if obviously you can't pull this off on us. They raise their axes again and they say, "All right, let's go ahead and end this here, you and me."
I'm going to step in and say, friends. There's nothing here that can't be solved by a good pint of ale. Let me buy all of you a round, and we'll forget all of this and laugh it off into the night.
The way you said that, you're going to roll a 1.
So, one of the dwarves walks forward and he says, "Snardak has lost 10 gold to this little piece of junk here. Are you willing to buy me 10 gold worth of ale?"
No, I'm not. I will, however, cast Thaumaturgy.
Oh God, here we go.
Go for it.
I'm going to shake the ground below the dwarves just ever so slightly, to the point where all the ale they've been drinking tends to bubble up a little bit. Maybe you know how when you ride in a car after a while and you've had a lot to drink. And
Jim, we don't know about this. What are you talking about?
Not driving the car, riding.
Oh, riding. Yeah. Okay, I know all.
All right, let me go ahead and take your Constitution save. Okay, he fails the Constitution save. So Snardak, the guy you're talking to, sort of steps back, and he's a little bit intimidated by this, and he sort of clutches his stomach, and he says, "All right, 5 gold worth of ale would be enough for me."
Make it 2.
Oh,
and we have
fucking
a deal.
We're not negotiating.
Go ahead and give me a
here.
persuasion check.
Grogil, sit the fuck down. Persuasion?
Yeah.
1.
Ouch.
I rolled a 3 minus 2.
God, I'm even better than that.
Oh, this is Snardak is like, he walks up to you and he says, he walks closer to you, Bholen, and he really sticks his face in your face. He says, "Well, I said 5.
I take 5 gold pieces out and I throw them on the ground.
Very well. Let's go have a drink." And he turns around and he takes his buddy with him, Gardak, and they both turn their backs on you guys and walk in. He picks up the money and walks. Obviously, don't want to hang out with you guys anymore. They head back into the bar and disappear off the street. You seem to have satiated them. They've had enough to drink that they're not really in the mood to have too much more of a fight here. And they head back into the Crow's Crown. And there you guys are left standing here. The 4 of you are standing together, and you turn all the 3 of you and you look, and here is this little human being, Niv, standing there looking rather sheepish after this situation, and the 3 of you are now staring at him.
I tell him he owes me 5 gold.
How tall is he?
How tall are you, Niv?
5'9".
Okay, still the shortest.
Oh.
I tell Niv that he owes me 5 gold.
I just kind of ignore Eric, and I turn to Tim and say, "Well, I showed those guys."
Smart ass too. Great.
I'm just gonna turn around and walk into the bar. I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna follow Tim's character.
I'm a follower, not a leader. I do the same.
All right. So the 3 of you head into the bar. Niv? What are you gonna do?
I am going to say, "Oh, I guess we're going in here again," and follow right along behind them.
I'm going to turn back. I'm going to turn my back and say, "Is this guy coming with us now, or are we? Who are you?"
Well, you said I lost, or I won 10 gold from each of those dwarves.
Yeah, you took 10 gold. So you have 10 gold, 10 extra gold in your pocket now.
From
no, total. You were playing against Snardak, the main guy.
So then I'm going to say,
10 gold.
I'm going to say that I am the guy who has 20 gold pieces.
10.
No, because I start out with 10.
Oh.
Yeah, so he has 20 now. Yeah.
And then I say, no, you mean 15.
And I say, we'll see about that. And then follow you guys.
I think at the very least, sir. I think at the very least, sir. You probably owe us at least 1 round of drinks. I think that's fair, don't you?
I pull my Morning Star out.
So as soon as you guys walk in, I mean, who's first in? Bholen, you head in first?
I'm first.
Yep. And Traego, you're following behind?
Yep.
And Grogil, you come in third, and you're carrying your Morning Star in with you. And the bartender immediately catches a glimpse of you, and he looks at you and says, "There's no weapons in here."
I'll put it away. Okay. I'm more interested in having a drink and getting some chicken or something. So yeah.
All right. And so you walk in. You put the away. Bartender's fine with that. Niv, you come in last of all, and the bartender sees you, and he says, "You, no more of you here. We've had enough of you. Out. You're not welcome."
I pull my Morning Star out again.
Yeah, and I tell the bartender, do I know their names yet? Have they?
No, you haven't. You have.
No, you don't.
I'll just say, do I know he's a half-orc? Right?
You can see he has orcish features for sure. Yeah.
So I'll tell the bartender that if he wants to kick me out, he has to take it up with Grogil.
I'm gonna take out my fiddle again. Here we go.
Bholen starts playing a little music, and I mean the bartender's a little confused here. He puts his hand up to Grogil, and he backs down and says, "All right, go ahead and come on in, but no more of your shenanigans here."
So how much is an ale?
So I mean, this is a little higher class bar. So I mean, we'll say you're gonna pay him a good 10 copper here for an ale.
Okay, so I want to put a gold on the bar and say everybody drinks on this for how long it lasts.
All right, so the bartender orders up a round of drinks, gives you all a round of drinks, and you guys go and are you gonna go sit down at a table or?
Yes, we'll sit
I'd
down
say
at the table.
at a
Is
table,
it
probably.
busy? Are there a lot of people there?
It's
in the
really
tavern?
busy. I mean, there's a couple tables though in the corner. I mean, if you look around, I mean, you see it's a rather interesting looking bar. I mean, over in one corner you've got some people who are playing some sort of dice game. It's hard to tell what it is. In the other corner, you see there's two halflings over there standing by the fireplace. There's a little stage there, and it looks like they're having some sort of heated argument between the two of them. There's other people over another table where there was a group of sort of burly looking men, and they're hanging out and they're talking. And yeah, it's a fairly packed place, but there's enough spots for you guys to sit down at the table.
I'll have a seat. I'll have a seat at the
Yeah,
table.
I'll sit at the table too.
Matt, I need 15 seconds with no one else on.
Okay.
Please. Thank you.
All right.
So my bond is beer, right?
You love it. Oh yeah. Anybody who buys you a beer is your buddy.
So what about if I buy them beer? Then does that change how I look at these guys, or
If you share an ale with someone, then you've made a friend. And if they buy you a beer, then they're one of your best friend.
Okay, so I want to play that up big time.
Yeah,
So,
do it.
Okay, so things are going to change probably between me and Bholen, especially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So you guys sit down, you start having a drink, and you look around, and there's a lot of action going on, a lot of noise. People are really having a good time with the various games. What do you want to do when you're in the bar?
Grogil, why don't you give me a little taste of your background? I don't know anything about you.
Aren't you playing the fiddle?
No, I put it away. You got a taste of how you like to operate with. You're definitely a man of action, and I respect that.
Well, and
I would like to give me a taste of who you are, where you came from. We're going to be working together probably for quite a while, so we probably should get to know each other a little bit.
Dad was an orc. Mom was a human. She left a long time ago. Dad and I brewed, and I don't know if I want to share anymore at this point.
It's very deep. I know so much more about you now than I did 10
enjoy your
seconds
beer.
ago.
Enjoy your beer and shut up.
Am I
What about
sitting
you,
with them
Traego?
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah. So Niv, you're sitting with them, and you've entered
Oh.
into this crew. Suddenly, you've been saved by this crew from these angry dwarves. And by the way, the angry dwarves are sitting over in the corner now, and they see you come back in, Niv, and they've been eyeing you down. They're not so excited about you being back in the bar.
So I'm gonna actually turn towards Niv and ask him, because he hasn't said his name. He doesn't know us either.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask him his name and what happened to get the dwarves so angry at him.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to figure something out here. I'll just tell you my name, Niv. And the dwarves tend to get angry when they lose a lot. And those two are quite good at losing.
Okay, fair enough.
Well put.
Had many of an encounter just like yours, Niv. My name is Bholen. Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Grogil.
Traego Tanglewood.
Tanglewood?
Traego Tanglewood.
Even though I'm an idiot, I ask him what he's doing in Theondir or the ports wherever we're at.
Yeah, you're in Haldir Harbor. Yep, Haldir.
I feel like you just stole names from where you live in Sweden. We wouldn't know the difference.
This is Heraldheim Harbor.
Ooh, you like him too.
What's your story, Niv?
Can I talk to Matt real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
You need me to... Okay. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, should I I guess I don't know how to do this. If I should try and lie about what's going on, or
it's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you.
Okay. Because I the only thing I know about them right now is that they saved me on a street, right? And that little bit of conversation we just had.
You just met these folks. They just came and rescued you from these dwarves. You know nothing about them. So it's up to you how much you want to share.
Okay. I guess I
can't wait to show. I can't wait for everyone on YouTube to see Booth's right boob.
Oh, that's been out on YouTube for years.
Hey, boys.
Volume 12.
So you guys turn to Niv, and it's obviously, I mean, you guys have met each other, and Niv is obviously the one sticking out here, and he feels a bit of pressure here to speak. Niv, do you want to say anything to this crew?
I just tell them that I like Haldir. Is that it? Haldir Harbor?
Haldir Harbor, yep.
How long have you been
Because it
here?
seems like there's always people coming and going, and when there's people coming and going, they tend to need stuff. And people who need stuff tend to pay for it. So
what sort of stuff are you able to provide?
Well, that depends on what you're looking for.
Mostly dope. I'm sorry.
So as you guys are having this conversation, suddenly Grogil, you feel a bit of a tap on your shoulder, and as you turn around to look, you see standing behind you is someone that you don't recognize, but you suddenly feel an affinity towards, because it's another half orc that had walked from across the room, and he looks down at you and says, "Well, my friend, it looks like you're in need of an ale. Can I buy you one?"
And I say, absolutely. Have a seat.
So he gestures to the bar, and he throws two fingers up, and they come over right away with two more ales, and he sits down and gives these ales to you, and you start downing them, right? And at this point, you've had, I don't know how many, 3, 4, 5. You down those two ales, and he says, "Well, can I get you two more?"
Yeah.
Gestures two more. They bring two more ales down.
Keep them coming.
So, yeah, you slam those two down. And he says, points over to the side of the bar there. He says, "Well, my friends and I, we've got a little bit of a wager over here. We've been looking at you, and it looks like you're a pretty strong guy. But we got a little wager here that a little arm wrestling competition, can we say? Are you interested?"
Of course I am.
So he says, come on with me. And he grabs you by the neck and brings you over. And you guys see Grogil leave, and he heads over to the corner with his half-orc buddy. At this point, Grogil, you're a bit under the influence. So we're going to give you a little disadvantage on your strength checks. But as you walk away, you guys see Grogil head away with this other guy. And the three of you are left sitting at the table.
Thank God. He's finally gone. So, you guys... should we run? Let's make a break for it. If we leave now, he'll never know where we go.
I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. It's tempting, but we do need him.
Yeah, where's the muscle? You gotta whatever Danny is. I only know he's a wizard because of the pregame, and then you got a terrible politician in Tanglewood Bramble or whatever his name is, and then freaking some Game of Thrones cast-off character.
And as as Grogil sort of walks away, the three of you are left at this table, and you hear from the other corner, the two halflings that were having this argument over by the stage when you walked in. Their voices are now quite elevated, and you hear them shouting. The first one starts to shout out.
Are they speaking in common or in halfling?
They're speaking in halfling.
Okay.
So Traego, you will be able to understand what they're saying. Mm-hmm. And the first one says, "I'm so tired of you screwing up." And the other one looks at him and says, "How was I supposed to know he wouldn't show up? Well, now it don't matter. No play, no pay. That was a real waste of a day of travel, you pathetic fool. And they look over, and the first one looks over and catches eyes with you, Traego, because he sees that you sort of perk up when you hear your native tongue, and he catches eyes with you, and he looks at you sort of confused, but a little desperate.
Mm-hmm. And do I recognize him at all?
You don't recognize them, no. A couple strange-looking dudes you've never seen before.
I suppose I'm going to get up and walk over to him and introduce myself as Traego Tanglewood.
So as you walk over...
In Halfling.
In Halfling. Okay, you walk over in Halfling, you introduce yourself as Traego Tanglewood. And at this point, I mean, these guys are angry, so they're starting to push each other. And they don't even hear you when you come over, so they're starting to fight with each other. And one of them grabs the other by the neck, and they're getting ready to throw a punch. And you hear the bartender, who sees this as well, who yells out, "Hey, none of that in here, you! I want you, either you play or you get out." And you're
I'm gonna start playing my fiddle. Fight music.
So Bholen starts playing his fiddle, right? Because he hears obviously the bartender. So they stop for a second, they pause, and they notice you, Traego, standing there right next to them.
I'm gonna tell them to. Are they by the table, or are they standing up, or where?
They're standing up over by the stage. The
stage. Okay. There's no tables there.
No tables there. No.
There's nothing to sit down. I'm gonna ask them if they need any help with anything.
Well, the first one looks over to you and says, "Of course we need help. This idiot, he had a friend who didn't show up. We're supposed to play his song. How are we supposed to play music and get paid when his friend doesn't show up to sing for us?"
Oh shit. Tim, can you sing?
No.
Or no?
I can.
I'm gonna ask him.
But I'll say this half orc over here doing the arm wrestling, angel voice.
Yeah.
They look over a little confused.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell my half orc friend can sing for you guys if you need.
And I have this fiddle that I've been playing, and I can definitely provide any sort of melody or
because I'm not supposed to be like
serenade.
A musician, am I?
So one of them has a drum sort of on his side. The other one has a lute slung behind his back, a sort of guitar-like instrument. And they both stop for a second. They stop fighting. They look over you and say, "Well, it's worth a shot now, isn't it? Come on up on stage."
Oh, you're gonna make me sing now?
They have Bholen come up on stage, and they step up on stage with you. And you're over Grogil, though. You're getting schlockered over with your friends over there by the arm wrestling. So they don't know that you've been invited up on stage. But Bholen, you're up on stage now.
I'm ready. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be in the back. I definitely want to be in the back of the stage. Almost in the shadows. Like I don't want anybody to necessarily be able to see me, but I definitely want to be on stage.
You have a fucking fiddle. You're a fiddle player.
What?
I'm also very reserved.
What instruments do these
fiddle,
guys
nothing
have?
says reserved like a fiddle.
So one of them has a drum and the other has a lute, and now we have a fiddle up on stage. And they look at you, Traego, and they say, and then halfling again, they say, "Well, is your friend going to join us, or are we going to stand here and look like idiots?"
I'm gonna say I'll go grab him real quick, and I run over kind of to where he is, and I try to get his attention here from.
I push him away.
Yeah.
These guys are buying me beer. I don't want
like. Oh, shit. I kind of walk up to him again, and it's like, "We got beer up at the stage. They want you to sing a song."
Give me a
persuasion check.
Give me a persuasion check there. With advantage because the Grogil is so inebriated at this point. So roll 2 d20s.
Persuasion.
You get to roll twice, chat.
Yeah, I know.
Roll twice, yeah.
Now, and while he's doing this, I'm gonna walk up to Grogil. I'm gonna touch him on the shoulder and cast guidance.
I'm in like 17 plus 6.
So... On Grogil or on? But that's 17 plus 6.
No. Sorry, not guidance. Command.
Command. Yeah. Okay. And what are you gonna cast? Or what are you gonna say to him?
Sing.
Well, he rolled a 23, so I'm.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's amplify this. Go ahead and what's your DC there, Bholen?
13.
All right, go ahead, Grogil, and is it a wisdom check?
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, go ahead and take a wisdom saving throw there, Grogil. Roll a d20.
16.
You rolled a 16 for wisdom?
Yeah, I got
What is your wisdom modifier?
Hold on. Oh no, 14.
14. Okay.
Still pass.
Still pass. So the word of command doesn't quite look. Grogil's a little confused, but he looks back to Traego and Traego. You give a rather convincing point that he should come over and sing. So Grogil, you follow Traego over to the stage, carrying your ale. You got one in each hand, and you walk the stage or step up on stage.
Okay, so I'm gonna sing.
How far away from the stage are we sitting?
So you guys are sitting at a good 20, 25 feet. So Bholen, you start to play your fiddle, and the first halfling starts to beat out a beat on his drum, and the lute comes in, and then Grogil, they give you a little shove and push you forward.
So
Hold on, I want to do something. Right when he starts to sing, can I cast minor illusion?
Yeah.
To make like a heavenly singing voice come out of him?
Yes, go for it.
How do I do that?
That's probably not one that requires a check.
Is it a cantrip or is it?
It's a cantrip.
First level?
It's an illusion cantrip.
Okay, you'll take the illusion cantrip then, so you can get that for free, and you cast that. Does that include auditory stuff as well?
Yeah, you create a sound or image within range that lasts for 1 minute.
So go ahead, and Grogil opens his mouth, and out of his mouth comes this operatic, amazing, beautiful sound, like no one has heard before.
Hey, I know the song. I got a song, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, what do I need to do? Performance?
Do a performance check with advantage.
One. Two.
One.
Yeah, I'll roll it again. 6. Shit. All right, but I know the song. This is gonna be actually apt.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so let me hold on. Let me figure this out in my head. They don't know what I did in the homeland. They think I'm a stupid half-orc. But only in time will they discover the reason that Grogil doesn't snore.
Wow.
Okay.
So you get this amazing song, and it's a heavenly sound, yes, and indeed. And it's not a very good performance. It sounds good. It's not a great performance though. But so the people in the bar sort of look to you, and they sort of look up from their drinks and give a little chuckle, and they go back to drinking and don't really think much of it.
So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go, okay, the next one's not from your time. You'll come to it soon. We're going to do it in G. Watch for the changes. Try to keep up.
The lute kicks in there.
Matt,
you guys play another beautiful song. The beautiful operatic music is still coming out of your mouth. At this point, the people in the bar are their ears up, and they turn around and they look, and they're listening now, and pretty soon they're clapping along, and it's a beautiful performance. And at the end of it, the two halflings they take a big bow, and they begin to pass around a hat, and sure enough, people start throwing some money, and before you know it, you guys have gathered in the hat, not bad, a total of 11 gold pieces that come back with a hat, and the halflings are very appreciative that they've made 11 gold pieces from your help.
And do we know? We have no. We're not suspecting at all of Danny casting a spell. We just think that Grogil has this amazing voice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We have no idea.
So Niv is over at the table by himself, or he's with you, Traego, but he's been mumbling some words, and no, you don't suspect anything. You just think Grogil's just amazing, has this amazing voice.
Grogil, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I never would have expected.
Yeah. You guys know who the Wu-Tang Clan is, right?
and they passed around a...
No, I don't know who the Wu-Tang... What?
Wu-Tang.
Who has the hat then?
Well, the first halfling has it. He takes it back and he's starting to put the gold pieces back in his pocket. He turns to you, Traego, and says, "Well, we want to thank you for your help here in this situation. Indeed, it hasn't been a waste of a day. It's been a very good day indeed."
Okay, well, I think my companions deserve something for their help.
"Oh, certainly," he says, and he gives a gold piece to each of them.
Okay.
I throw my gold piece back in his face. It's not enough.
Can I buy you another beer? Another drink?
I want 5 gold pieces. Someone owes me 5 fucking gold pieces.
5 gold pieces?
Well, I look at him and I say, well, they were half of your band, so maybe you should split the gold evenly between the 4 of you.
So he stands back a little sheepish, sort of looking Grogil down, and
I pipe in and tell the halflings that Grogil's right. He's the one who got you any money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give Grogil my share.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
I'm so mesmerized by his voice.
So they step back, feeling a little pressured here. So the first one sort of steps back, and the second one looks at him and says, "Finn, come along, give him his money." "Okay, I'll give you 5 gold pieces then," and he gives you 5 gold pieces and steps back. And they go back on stage, and they continue playing some more music now, without anybody singing. They're going to continue to play some background music, and you guys go back to your table and sit down.
The question, go back to the arm wrestling.
You go back to the arm wrestling. So you head over to the arm wrestling. Yeah. Let's take care of that right now. You head over, and there's a bunch of guys sitting around this table. And the guy that came over and tapped you on the shoulder, he's sitting there, and he says, he looks at you and says, "Well, my friend, is it time to prove me wrong here?" And he puts
I'll bet you 10 gold I can beat you in an arm wrestling contest.
And he puts his arm down and says, "Well, I'd say I spent about 10 gold here on you. How about we make it 20?
Ooh. All right. I'm not real smart, so yep.
Can I come over and watch this?
Yeah.
I want to come over and
watch this. Yeah, you can come over and watch this.
I'm gonna touch him. I'm gonna touch him and cast guidance.
Oh, all right. Roll your d4 on that one.
The target can roll a d4 and add the number.
Okay.
And add that number to one ability check.
Roll your d4, Grogil.
Well, he does it when he rolls his ability check, right?
Oh, right.
Roll them together.
Add that too.
Because he'll probably have to roll a strength check, I'm guessing.
We're gonna do a strength check. So you sit down. You sit down at this table, and it's a creaky old wooden table with splintery wood. You set your arm down, and this other guy, you've since learned that his name is Gruruk. And he's got his buddies there, and they're cheering him on. They're like, "Come on, Gruruk, you can take this drunkard." And he puts his arm down and his hand out. You clasp your hand in his, and he says, "All right, on the count of 3, we begin. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3." And he rolls.
17.
20. Do you want to take your help from Bholen?
That's with the help.
That's with the help. Okay, so with the help, your arm begins to move backwards, and you're halfway down to the ground. Take another strength check. Oh.
25.
Okay, wow. So natural 1. So you guys come back to the middle. You're just sweating like crazy, and you can see that Gruruk now has some respect for you that he didn't have when you started. He thought you were this sort of drunkard, simpleton, wimpy guy. So he pushes in again. Take another one. Roll this again. 22.
14.
So arm comes halfway down. You're almost done. Roll again. You're sweating now as he's almost pushing your arm down to the ground.
25.
Bring him back to the middle now, and Gruruk's friends are starting to cheer him on. Come on, Gruruk! Come on, Gruruk! And roll again.
10.
9. So you push him down. He's halfway down. His arm is coming down to the table. You've almost got him down, and he's sweating. He can see like sweating bullets. Sweat is rolling down his head, and he gets
25.
Oh, 20, and you slam his arm down onto the ground, and all of his friends just shout out in disappointment. Oh, and Gruruk looks just destroyed. He can't believe it that this half-orc that he thought was a total wimp that he had sort of tried to liquor up with booze to beat him had actually conquested him, had a victory against him.
So I said, boys, keep your gold. I just want, keep your gold. The beer was good.
So
something like that.
Gruruk looks a little up at you, a little sheep. He has some respect for you, though, and he says, "Well, indeed, my friend. Well played. Well played." And he takes his gold that he set down on the table and puts it back in his pocket. He looks at the bartender and says, "2 more ales over here." And the bartender comes over, gives you 2 more ales, Grogil.
Okay. So can we have a bathroom break?
Yeah, let's do it. Bathroom break.
All right. 5 minutes.
Let's jump back into it then. So we just left off. You guys were sitting around in the tavern. Grogil just won a arm wrestling competition and gave the money back to Gruruk, making now a friend for life. He was already kind of your buddy because he bought you a bunch of beers. So that's good. So you've made some friends, even though you've alienated other people so far in your journey.
Like the people in the party? Like everyone here.
Exactly, right? You've got some friends going on as well. But Traego, you said you wanted to do something when we came back here from the break.
Yeah. I want to take a minute and use the distraction to kind of gauge the audience and everybody in the bar and see if there's anything maybe that should be catching our eye as far as somebody to talk to or maybe out of place.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check there.
And I didn't realize my perception is so terrible. 11.
All right, yeah. You glance around the bar. You don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. I mean, you see all the celebrations from and the confusion with the Gruruk incident, and the band still up playing some songs. You don't notice too much. It's not really that substantial.
I want to go up to the bartender. I want to talk to him for a little bit. I want to tell him me and my party are heading over. We're on our way to Theondir. Can you tell us about how many days trek that is, and how to get there?
And he looks at you and he says, "Well, it really depends on how you're getting there. But if you need a little,
am I able to hear this conversation?
No, Bholen's kind of walking over by himself.
Unless you come up with me.
You can go up with him, Niv, if you want.
Yeah, I'll just kind of trail him.
Okay. The bartender sees you two walking at Bholen and Niv, and he looks at Niv and he says, "I'm not going to be talking to you. Get away from here."
I didn't even know he was behind me. And I'm gonna shuffle over maybe a few steps.
Niv, you're not very popular in this bar after the whole card incident.
I don't know why. I'm a lovable scamp.
You almost got killed by 2 dwarves for cheating in a card game.
That is their version of the story.
So he looks at
as it may.
He looks at you at Bholen though, and he the bartender steps a little closer to you so that Niv can't hear the discussion, and he says, "Well, it really depends on how you're going to be getting there, but
how can we get there? What are our options?"
And he looks at you and says, "Well, my memory's not so good, but usually a few gold will help me remember things a little bit better."
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Is that Helena leaving you?
I just got a football. Someone kicked a football against my balcony door.
Interesting.
You mean a soccer ball or a real football?
A soccer ball, sorry. Yeah, soccer ball.
That means you're supposed to shut up.
Maybe.
5 gold. What'd he say? A couple gold?
Yeah, a couple gold pieces. He said he'd probably spark his memory a little bit.
I'll put 1 gold on the counter and say, "Friend, I think this is plenty."
Hey, Matt, I don't want to divert.
I can get this information anywhere I want. I'm just asking.
I don't want to divert from the game here, but you might want to go figure out why someone kicked a soccer ball into your window.
I think it's just some kids. They're fine.
All right.
If it happens again, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's gonna break it this time.
So the bartender, I mean, he looks at you and he says, "All right, that sounds enough." And he looks at you and says, "Well, it's gonna be a couple days journey to Theondir, and there's a couple different ways you can get there. You can jump in with a military party heading north. They go every day. There's lots of constant military going back and forth. You can find your own passage if you want with horses. There's some local stables. You can rent some horse. That's going to cost you a pretty coin for that as well. But I do know a man that might be able to get you where you're going. His name's Merrifield. He's in town here. He runs a small smoke joint called the Meeting Place, and he sends caravans of his smoked meats almost every other day up to Theondir, and he could help you with an overland journey. It might cost you a bit, but yeah, that's all I know."
Appreciate your information. I'm going to take that back to the table. So we've got a couple options to get to Theondir. We can go with the military. Apparently they go every day. We can rent some horses. Otherwise, there's this guy, Merrifield. Is that what he's called?
Merrifield, yeah, Merrifield.
Merrifield. He goes up there every once in a while. The bartender said maybe he could Sherpa us up there. Unless we want to just walk by ourselves. We got to go. We got to go at some rate, but
so with horses, you'll get there. You get there in 2 days. Walking will take you substantially longer. You're looking at a good week, and a good week means you're gonna miss the date of your summons.
Okay. How much do horses generally like? I think we kind of have an idea how much they generally cost. Like a decent horse for the three of us. How much do they normally cost? Well,
we don't know about this.
We don't know about this other guy. How much would they normally like a good price, a fair price be?
I mean, the military's been using a lot of the horses around here lately. So I mean, horses are kind of hard to go by, but I'm sure you could talk the local stables into giving you horses for probably anywhere from 15, 20 gold. If you drop them off in Falandir, a piece, yeah.
So, and I'm sitting there while this conversation's going on. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's back at the table.
I'm not. I'm still in the corner drinking. That's why I'm.
And we all know that Eric gave away 20 gold pieces just now. Grogil.
Yeah.
You don't understand though.
Grogil did give it away. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of look at Niv and ask him to give me and Tim a second to talk.
And I'll agree to that, but I'm going to say first that Merrifield is well known for gouging people, and I know a much better place you guys can get where you're going. And at that, I just get up and kind of slowly walk away.
So what do you think? Should we?
Well, I was going to suggest we
trust
could
this
steal
guy?
some horses, but I would prefer not to.
Oh.
I pull out my Morning Star.
You're not here, Eric. You're gone.
I know.
Go away.
So Niv walks away from the table. You guys are having this conversation. Niv just sort of does a mic drop and just walks away from the table and heads out. Where are you gonna head, Niv? You're just gonna head to another corner of the bar.
Yeah, I'll just wander up and try and get some more ale from the bartender.
All right.
See if he'll serve me.
Traego, we have no reason to trust
He
this
doesn't,
guy.
but you can still stand there and try to get his attention.
But we don't have coin to pay for horses.
So
We don't know
our
what
options.
next caravan.
So our options are trust this drunk ass cheating lying human, or we walk ourselves, which is going to take a really long time, and then we have to spend more time with this half orc drunken lying cheating.
I'll remind you that I am
or
the reason you're alive.
we steal. We can steal some horses. We can try and steal some.
Stealing is always, especially
Shy.
horses, it's risky.
Which I am
Where you
not opposed to.
Are you guys? You guys are playing your alignment, right?
I don't know what Tim's alignment is, and that's him saying he's not opposed to that kind of.
You guys are chaotic neutral.
Not opposed.
You're chaotic neutral, right? So I mean, you're.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm all for doing it the easiest way possible. Maybe we should try to see what Niv can do for us, and if nothing else, we steal and we go. But we need to get there as quick as possible. Walking isn't an option because of our idiot friend. And the longer time we're on the road.
And right before you guys do this, look down on your character sheets, all of you. What is your passive perception?
Oh. And where is that at?
It should be the it's the very bottom left, yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I didn't write anything in there. I think I missed that block.
So let's see, what was that? That was your
Did I is it filled out on the one
it says
I sent you?
Wisdom.
I thought it was base. The base is 10, like just your base.
10 plus your yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right because I have a -1 perception, so mine's a 9.
You have a 9.
How are you so stupid? I have better than that, and I'm an idiot.
The one I sent
you, my intelligence is high.
Matt
my wisdom
has a 12.
Okay, so 12. You said, what do you have, Bholen?
My passive wisdom or passive perception is 10 plus 5 for perception, so 15.
Okay, well, 15. And Grogil, what do you have?
11.
11. Okay, so while you guys are talking, just to fill this in before you make a decision, the three of you don't notice anything, but Bholen, out of the corner of your eye, you catch really briefly. I mean, your passive perception isn't that high, but really briefly you catch a figure that slips out the door that you didn't notice before. But it's a figure that kind of slips out of the door and takes off. And you just quickly catch a glimpse of that sort of black robe and takes off into the street and is gone. Just to let you know that there was somebody who you caught your attention as they left. Continue.
I just saw somebody leave the tavern just now. It looked very suspicious, very evil.
Were they watching us?
I don't know. I just saw him leave.
I have no idea. No idea. But anyway, continue your discussion here.
Well, that's you telling me that, right, Tim?
Yes. Yeah.
You just told me that. Like, do you want to follow?
No.
You think it's a trap?
I don't know. Who is this? I don't know. He looked very suspicious and weird. We could follow him, but.
At this point, what time is it? Like, is it nighttime? Dark alleys?
You guys got into Halder Harbor early in the morning.
Okay,
you were awoken by the Navy. So I mean, we'll say you're pushing into around lunchtime now, around noon.
All right.
I don't think we need to attract any undue attention to us by potentially setting some sort of event out in the street with this stranger that we saw. Maybe we could follow him. You're pretty good. I see you're pretty good at sneaking. You're a pretty sneaky guy.
All right. What's he look like? Describe him.
All I saw was he had a black robe.
Okay.
He was hastily leaving the bar, and he had a black robe with a cloak.
All right. How long ago was it?
Just now. Just saw him leave.
All right. I'm gonna make my way to the door, and probably wait a good couple, like 4 or 5 seconds, and then slowly, kind of just walk out the door, like I'm getting a breath of fresh air.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
My bad. 8.
All right, you step out of the door and you look left, you look right, and there's no sign of anyone. Whoever it was that had left is gone.
All right. Can you describe the street that we're on?
So you're on this avenue, and if you look straight ahead, the avenue it looks like it comes into a marketplace. And the marketplace sort of opens up, and there's buildings surrounding the marketplace. And if you look behind you, you see the harbor where you guys just came from. You only made it about a block into the city when you met Niv.
Is the marketplace pretty big, or?
It's a fairly big marketplace. I mean, if you look at it, there's probably about 30 tents set up with different. It looks like different booths that you can go and buy things. So it's a fairly decent size.
All right, so I think I'm just gonna kind of walk towards the marketplace, just like take a quick stroll. Again, like just a kind of easygoing jaunt, just to kind of stretch my legs, get some fresh air, and just kind of see if I notice anything.
All right, so you walk into the marketplace and you start looking around, and you notice that there are a lot of different tents set up. There are a lot of different booths, a lot of different people selling things. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It looks just like a normal marketplace with a bunch of people yelling out, trying to sell their wares, shouting different things. You hear one guy in the corner yelling about oils and remedies. You hear another one yelling about weapons. You hear another guy yelling about books and scrolls. I mean, it's just a normal marketplace where people are busy trying to make a few gold pieces.
Okay, and I don't know. There's nothing out of the ordinary. All right.
No, it doesn't look very suspicious to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe kind of look at a few things, like whatever is close to me, shops. I'll look at whatever food or whatever they got or whatever wares they have, and then I'm just gonna kind of stroll back into the inn.
Okay. Yeah, you see a couple. The closest booth to you, there's the oils and remedies booth. There's like I said, there's a weapons and arms booth. There's some books and scrolls booth. Those are the first three that you come across in the marketplace, and nothing strange. You head back into the bar and meet up with your.
Did you see him? What did you see?
I didn't see anything.
Have I joined them back at the table at this point?
Yeah, we would have waved you back.
You want to join them at the table?
Yeah, I think we'll wave them back and.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
At this point, I want to say to the one guy, I want to say double or nothing, 40 gold pieces.
Gururuk looks at you and says,
"Well, I only have 27, so 27, all 27."
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. I mean, you can wager whatever you want.
No. I only want 20, another 20.
Another 20. You want to do this with 20? So Gururuk looks at you and says, he says, "All right, I'm always up for another challenge. Let's do it." And he puts his hand out in front of your face, arm on the table.
And then I say offhand.
So he switches to his left hand and puts his hand out, and he says to you, "I was waiting for you to ask me that, because I am indeed left-handed."
Oh, fuck.
Dang.
And do we notice anything going on with that? Like, do we hear anything sitting at the table, or do we just kind of are we just ambivalent to this?
You guys are just you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with your next step. You're trying to find passage while Grogil's over there just drinking beer.
So if I'm offhand and he's main hand, does that do anything to my strength bonus or not?
You go normal, but he's gonna get a little bit of a bonus.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
20,
so
20,
you guys lock
gold.
hands. This is for 20 gold, and you start going now. All right, roll it up. Ooh, 7. But
20,
you got
23.
Okay. So you put on his arm, flips down, and he's halfway down, and he's sort of getting flashbacks to the
Pray for a
arm
natural
wrestling
20,
attempt.
boys.
19 total.
Ooh, 11.
So he pushes you back to the center again. He's really pushing, and people are shouting through.
All right.
And he rolls a 26.
25. Shit.
Halfway down, and you feel like you were starting to lose, and he down even further, and now he's up to a 21.
A what? 21?
You were starting to lose, and you're going to lose 21 on here.
11.
Oh.
Look him in the eye and says, "Knew who the real strength in this bar was?" And he puts his hand out as if he's expecting to get you 20 gold.
I give him 20 gold.
He takes 20 gold, cups his hand around it, slams it back on the table, and says, "I don't take money from a brother." He gives it back.
All right. Someone else, I'm good for a little bit now.
Are you going to come back to the table?
No, you guys got to call me back. I'm sitting with friends.
Grogil, come back.
They're gonna have to persuade. They're gonna have to persuade.
Here.
All right, I'll roll a persuasion.
Yeah.
So Bholen walks over and in most polite manner asks you, Grogil, to join.
Natural 1.
And Grogil looks at you and says,
How much beer does Grogil have in his tankard or whatever?
I don't know. Well, he had 2 more. The guy brought him over, and he's only got maybe half of one left.
You're down the right path, though.
Okay, I'm gonna wave over one of the serving girls and get around for the table and like 2 extra. And
she
set
comes
them on
over
the table.
Carry 2 more beers, and she says, "Here you go, Mister. Here's 2 more beers for you." On the table, and Traego, do you want to try and convince him to come back to the table and talk to you guys?
I want to
go ahead and take
he doesn't need to, Matt. 2 beers, like he bought me 2 beers. I'm back.
Yeah, I have the beers placed on our table, and I kind of wave them over, and I like kind of point down to the beers and be like, "Hey, come on, we got beers for you."
Okay, so
Grogil picks him up and he walks back and follows back. So he sits down at the table now.
Okay.
You guys are never going to get out of this bar.
Yeah.
That's the best part, man. We'll be playing for years. That's what we want.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm cool. I got as many years as you need.
Danny, what's your character's name again? Niv.
Niv.
I'm gonna look at Niv and ask him what he has in mind. How can we get to Theondir, right? Theondir.
Yep. Theondir. Yeah, the capital city of Theondir. Yep.
And I guess I'm going to say that horses probably are your best bet. And there's a place I just happen to know. Quality horses, super cheap.
You sound like the lumber liquidator guy. Quality horses, super cheap.
Oh,
okay. And where would these quality horses be located?
That's for me to know and show you. I don't want to give away, my sweet connections.
I don't trust him, man. He's like a shady. He's even shadier.
Yeah,
than
I'm looking at him with like a knowing look. Like, it's like I think we're going to need a little more information.
What do we got to lose? He's just showing us around town for all we know. I mean, let's just let him show us. If we can afford to get the horses, great. If not, we'll kill him, take his gold, and then buy the horses ourselves. Sound good to you, Niv?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Except for the killing part, sure.
Oh, we must have a neutral or a lawful good, or...
Well, I'm not.
You saw what this orc does to people that cross him.
Aren't orcs?
Let's just
evil?
might behoove
orc,
you to stay on our good side.
And I'm gonna look at him and I'm like, when you're in our company, no more cheating at cards. Leave that to the professionals.
Sure thing.
Okay.
I pull out my Morning Star.
Oh.
We're gonna have to make T-shirts that say "I pull out my Morning Star."
I pull out my Morning Star.
That's so funny.
Grogil's solution to everything: human resources problem. Pull out your Morning Star.
I'm pretty sure I'd end up in human resources if I pulled my Morning Star out tomorrow at work.
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism?
You don't know the meaning of that word, apparently. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna pull out your wingding doodle.
No, I was kidding. That was a joke.
Okay.
I'm just along for the ride.
All right. So.
All right, Niv, show us the way.
Yeah.
Follow
At first,
you.
I want to make a perception check, or if I need to, like, how drunk is Grogil? Is he hammered? Like, useless in a fight?
He's used to having a few ales in his
I also
system.
weigh 350 pounds, so
he's doing okay. He'll still be all right in a fight.
Okay.
But I mean, he's a bit stupider than normal. If that's possible.
Well, all right. Yeah.
So you guys are gonna follow Niv, or Niv, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I get up and tell them to, lead the way out of the tavern, and then I'll follow along behind them.
All right,
so you
Niv,
lead the way.
No.
How about you lead the way?
I'm in
We
back.
don't know where we're going. You are the person showing us where to go. We will follow you.
leads you guys out of the the tavern into this.
Can I persuade them to go
go ahead.
first? So do I just roll a d20 and add my persuasion?
I mean, you can try to persuade them to lead the way, but they don't know where they're going.
Well, I mean, just out of the tavern.
Oh, just out of the tavern.
Sure.
Yeah, just out of the.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just want you guys to go forward in front of me out of the tavern.
I don't. I'm behind you. I don't trust you. You're a sneaky little.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's just a-
I'm
it's just a
not letting
20.
him go behind me.
A 20 plus
I'll
persuasion.
tell you what. Who do you want to try to persuade? Go ahead and do it with disadvantage. So roll 2 d20s. Take the lowest of the two. I'm going to set this a pretty high difficulty class because I don't trust you.
Okay, so roll 2, take the lowest.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, dog. So that is, and then I add my persuasion check,
Yep,
or just
your
the
persuasion
raw
check.
number.
Yeah, so if you're looking at persuasion, you
that
add
is
that number
a,
next to persuasion.
Lowest is a 12 plus 3. So
Plus
15.
3. Okay, 15. So that's not gonna be enough to persuade any of them. They trust you. They're pretty skeptical of you. No one's gonna go first. So you're just sitting here around the entrance of the bar. No one's gonna go outside. It's like this awkward moment. Head out first.
I
don't
point.
know.
I point
ushering
to
him
the
in the
door. I point at him and I point to the door.
Okay, I just get up and say, okay, well, let's go then. I don't think they're like me too much here anymore anyways. I'm just-
Matt,
Start leaving.
I pull up my crossbow. No, I'm kidding.
Do you have a
At least-
crossbow?
At least there's some variation, right? I mean,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
morning star anymore. So you guys step out of the bar and you head into the avenue and you start heading north now in the direction of what you know is your secret place here that you have in mind here, Niv.
Hold on.
Okay, so
All right.
what did you say,
See-
Matt?
So you guys start heading north. You head north through the marketplace, and Niv, you know a place that might be able to help you guys get to the Theondir, give you some overland travel. But it's of course on the opposite side of the marketplace. You're walking through the marketplace, and you're once again passing all these booths. You have to kind of wander your way through the marketplace, and there's different people selling their wares. And you hear one voice in particular, a merchant who's got and Grogil, immently you notice that he's also a half orc, and he's singing in way and having a great time. And you hear on the other side of you, you hear the guy shouting on his oils and remedies. Hey, come and check out my oils. These are great.
Matt, you're breaking up
And,
again.
you're wandering through. Am I breaking up again?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Why don't you reboot
Yeah,
again?
so you guys gonna walk around the marketplace a little bit and check things out. And I mean, sure enough, there is a shop in the center of the square. Interesting. There's a statue of a dragon in the center of the square. A nice, beautiful statue. Around that, there's a little green covered booth that has all sorts of junk and trinkets. And sure enough, there's a little mirror there that you find.
Awesome.
And the guy's willing to part with it for just a few copper pieces.
Okay.
So, Matt, I want to buy daggers. I want to buy.
You want to buy daggers? Well, there is a seller. When you walk in, there's a guy selling weapons, and you walk up to. He's got a whole table full of different weapons. If you're interested in buying some daggers.
I want to buy 2 of the most expensive daggers they have.
All right, so you walk up to him and he says, Well, hello there. Would you like to buy some weapons from me?
And I'm obviously accompanying my less intelligent friend to make sure that he doesn't make any stupid decisions.
So there's a table full of weapons, and sure enough, I mean, there's 6, 7, 8 different kinds of daggers. If you're interested in buying a dagger,
I want 2, but I want boot sheaths for him.
Okay, so he looks at you, and he's willing to give you 2 daggers with sheaths and everything for 6 gold pieces.
6? Tell him 4.
He looks at you and says, "Indeed, you're quite the haggler." Okay. 5.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Dude,
sure, 5. 5.
If I okay.
5. I'll go ahead and write down 2 daggers then. 1d4 piercing.
Do I get my bonus on that?
You should get your let's see.
Plus 7 it would be.
It's a finesse.
What is it? 1d what?
1d4 piercing damage.
Because the Morning Star is plus 7.
Plus 7? It's crazy.
I'm a fighter, dude. Like,
yeah,
I also can barely wipe my own ass. You know, so.
So you pick up a couple daggers. You're pretty happy with it. The guy selling them was pretty happy too. I mean, he made a pretty decent sale. 5 gold is actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
he kind of ripped you off there, and he knows it, but he's pretty happy about it. So he very happily passes these daggers over to you. They're pretty nicely made though. So I mean, it wasn't that big a rip off, but yeah. So you guys are following Niv. Oh my.
Yeah, I got my mirror.
Got your mirror. Bholen picked up his mirror. Anything else you want to shop on your way through the marketplace?
When we're going through the marketplace, I want to kind of be a little perceptive. Like, I'm trying to see if that shadowy figure that Tim saw is anywhere. I'm kind of using this as like cover to see if I notice anything.
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
I gotta get a better perception. Oh,
let me do it too. I want to perceive too. I want to do a roll.
15 this time.
I got a 23.
23. Wow. So you look around. Traego, you don't notice anything. Bholen, it's hard to say. I mean, there's so many people walking around. You notice there are a few figures hanging out at the different booths. A couple of them are looking at you. There's one guy over in one of the booths who's been particularly looking at you, but I mean, it's hard to tell if anything is strange here. There's so many people. There's so much activity. But I mean, you do make eye contact with a few different people when you look around for sure. So I mean, you get the sense that some people are watching you, but maybe that's not that strange. I mean, you guys are quite the interesting looking party walking through this square.
Sure.
All right. One thing I want to do is I have the favorite scheme. I convince people that worthless junk is worth their hard-earned money. Mm-hmm. I don't really have any worthless junk. I want to see if there's anywhere that's selling something that's just kind of crap that I could easily pawn off as being like an artifact or something. Are there like junk sellers? Like
sure. Oh yeah, there's some
like amulets that are cheap and shitty and.
There's a booth right next to where Bholen got his mirror, which is where that half orc was selling a bunch of books and scrolls and other trinkets and junk there as well, and he's busy kind of singing away to himself, and he's got tons of junk, yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah, so I'd like to buy like a book and just like a trinket from him.
So you go up to him, and he's got a bunch of different books, and he sees you come up, and he says, and he sees you come up, and he's extremely happy to see a customer there for the first time, and he says, "Oh, come in. Would you like to buy a book from me?"
Yeah, do I notice anything that could be like mistaken for like an old tome or like a spell book or something? Or are they all pretty normal?
There's a few different books that he has up for sale, and he immediately shoves a book into your hand, and you look at it, and it has the title Carnivore Carnival, a thriller, and that doesn't it doesn't look like any sort of special book. And he says, "This is a good one. This is actually my favorite, the Carnivore Carnival." He's got a pile of other books. You notice there is one book in particular that is a little bit older, sort of leather-bound book, but it's the cover is kind of coming to pieces, and you can tell it looks like an older book. It actually would probably be a pretty good tome if you want to sell it off as something valuable.
Do I recognize the language that's written?
Eric, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
1 second. Either you are the greatest storyteller ever, or you actually have down to a book in a goddamn random offside.
Yeah,
like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so do I recognize the language of the book?
It's written in common. I mean, and you look on the title on the cover page. And I mean, it's a leather book, and embossed in the book, I mean, you see the title of the book. It's called "The Ways of the Sincari."
Oh, I'm gonna write this down. Ways of the Sincari.
The Ways of the Sincari.
All right. I asked him how much for the book.
10 copper.
Are you Yoda now, or?
Copper 10 it is. Indeed.
Look, when it's not you, 900 deals you become.
Is that like a ripoff? Can I tell if that's a ripoff? That seems kind of cheap. I don't know. Like, what can you get for 10 coppers?
I mean, 10 coppers not a whole lot. I mean, in a bad bar, you can get a drink for that.
Okay, then I'm like, yeah, I won't even haggle with him. 10 coppers, I'll buy the book.
He's super happy, so he passes you off the book and sets it in your hand, and he's super excited. I mean, I think you're his first customer he's had in probably weeks.
Yeah, and then any other trinkets then? Like just some jewelry, or maybe like a necklace or something?
Oh, he's got like junk. Oh yeah, he's got.
I'm just looking for like a junky one that looks like it might be fancy, but just like kind of shitty. Like,
I mean, he's got those necklaces. He's got those necklaces that are obviously fake gold, but the ones that when you wear them, it makes your skin green. He's got a ton of those.
Right. And I'll just buy one of those too. What does he want for that?
10 gold pieces for that.
10 gold pieces? Yeah, I don't think I'll do another 10 copper, but I won't do 10 gold.
He's pretty convinced that these are pretty expensive, so he's not going to back down too much. He throws it out for 8 maybe.
8 gold? No, I walk away. I won't.
All right. So you walk away with your book. You have a book, The Ways of the Sincari. It's a nice leather tome. You might be able to...
Is it with a C or an S?
It's Synchari. Sincari.
Can I go up and buy that Carnivore Carnival book? How much is that?
Absolutely. So I mean, same thing. He's selling all his books for 10 copper. So you've got the Carnival, a thriller. Yeah, that's the subtitle. For 10 copper.
Danny, are you encroaching on my skill set?
I just want a carnivore book.
Oh, damn. All right, so that's all I wanted to do. I know to. Yeah.
Excellent. So right in your inventory there, you've got Niv. You've got the Carnivore Carnival, a thriller, and you've got the Ways of the Sincari. Traego.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess we just kind of let Niv lead the way to where his connection is.
All right, Niv, lead the way. Where do you want to head?
We were headed north, right, through the market.
Through the marketplace. Yeah, you're heading through the marketplace, and you see that the Tudor houses surrounding the marketplace sort of narrow in, and there's another avenue heading north. There's one heading east and heading west. I mean, you can kind of pick your way through the city, but you obviously know where you're going.
And we just keep heading. Is north away from the harbor?
Yeah,
we'll head away from the harbor.
Yeah. So you head north away from the harbor.
Further into town.
Yeah, head further into town. Is there any particular place you want to take them to, Niv?
Yeah. I turn around. We keep going, and I turn around and tell them that this place called the Wandering Widow is one I know. Great horses, cheap prices. Horse liquidators.
Okay.
I still don't trust this asshole.
Yeah, how would we go about kind of trying to figure out what his meaning?
Is he telling the truth?
Yeah, is he telling the truth?
Go ahead, Traego. Take an insight check on him. Roll your d20 and take an insight check.
Yeah, don't even bother. It's a 2 plus whatever insight is.
You have no idea. For all you know, I mean, it's a pretty trustworthy story.
Oh my God, my insight's -1. Motherfucker.
I'm gonna take an insight check.
Go for it, Grogil.
Ah, terrible.
I'm just gonna prove how dumb Chad is. 9.
I'm just not very wise, apparently.
9.
Okay. Yeah. Also, it's not really. I mean, it seems like he's trustworthy. Hard to tell. I mean,
that beard is not trustworthy.
Hey, this is freshly trimmed just today. I showered and shaved just for you guys.
Damn. All right. So I guess, I don't notice anything.
No. So I mean, you guys follow Niv, and he leads you through the avenue. You come to what's called the lower town of the city, and on the very end of the lower town, there's a gate that leads out of Haldir Harbor, and on the very end of the gate is a little inn. That's called the Wandering Widow, and connected to the Wandering Widow is indeed a set of stables. There's a little bit of grazing grass area there, connected to there. And Niv, you lead him up to the Wandering Widow, and you know there's some pretty decent chances that you'll get some good horses here, some good mounts. And you walk up to the Wandering Widow, enter into the Wandering Widow, and there is a small man who is stoking a fire behind a counter in the inn as you walk in.
Okay. And when I walk in, I kind of put on a more regal official air. So I'm not quite gutter trash looking anymore, or trying to be. And when I walk in, I greet him heartily.
You greet him heartily, and the man looks up from stoking the fire, and he looks into your eyes, and he sees you, and he says, he looks at you and he says, Niv? Is that you? Are you here again, Niv? So good to see you again, my friend.
I always will stop in here to visit you when I'm around.
It's been many years indeed, Niv. What have you been doing lately?
Oh, little of this, little of that. You know how it is, and I kind of wink at him.
I know the stories. I've heard many stories about the great Niv. What can I help you with, my friend?
Are these guys in with me? Are we all inside?
I assumed everyone followed you in. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, these 3 fine friends of mine here are in need of transportation, and I told them there's no better place in the city but your fine establishment.
Indeed, my reputation has been very good in this city. Niv, you are a good man. Thank you for spreading the word about me.
My pleasure.
What can I help you with, Niv?
Well, we are gonna need 4 horses, stout ones. We gotta have quite the distance to travel.
Wait. Let's not jump the gun. We need 3 horses.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell the guy, no. We need 4. He is a joker.
Who said that you were accompanying us?
Well,
Niv,
that's what friends do.
Niv, who are these other people that you brought with you?
Now we're French. Now we're French.
C'est la vie. Would anybody like some red wine?
Billy Madison over here.
Yeah, right.
I got it from Frank.
Oh, dude.
That will be censored later. Don't worry.
Just big black bars.
Yeah.
Niv, who are these men that you brought with you?
Well, this is Bholen and Traego, and I have to look up Grogil. Dear good friends of mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they are friends of yours, they are friends of mine as well. What can I help you with?
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What's your name, good sir? I see you have quite an establishment here. It's a beautiful place you've got. What's your name?
They call me Danish.
Danish?
Danish.
Danish.
Oh, they call me Danish in the town here. Yes,
Apparently, Matt has to write that down too.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Danish.
what
Daenesh. Danish.
And what do you do, Danish?
Yes, I run the inn here, the Wandering Widow, and I have some horses, and what should I say?
Do I notice anything that I should be noticing?
I mean,
This guy?
he's obviously a little nervous, and he looks at you, Traego, and he says,
And I also have a bit of a, what should we say, a business that I run. I send packages, I send them here, I send them there. I send them to here and there.
Can I say something to kind of acknowledge that I understand what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I use the thieves' cant to portray whatever I would say to okay, I know what's going on here.
Go for it. And he responds to you in thieves' cant.
Okay.
And this is brought only Traego understands this, but he responds to you and he says, you understand there are some certain illicit substances that you should be sending to Theondir. That is a part of what I do here.
And I'm fully behind. I'm not opposed to that. How well can we trust him in this endeavor? And I kind of indicate Dan's character.
To Niv, he says,
man, Niv, he is my good friend. Niv has done many deliveries for me, so he is a very good friend for me. It's very good.
Is this all still in Thieves' Camp?
yeah, this is still in thieves' cant.
It's kind of
Okay,
in between the lines of what we're talking about.
So I'm gonna immediately ask if he has any half-orc cores.
Not that I can think of at the moment, but it would be possible maybe to find some for you, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of
How much?
turn to Eric and be like, "We really don't have time for this. I'm sure we'll have all the entertainment we can require in Theondir once we get there in 2 days."
And he turns back to Niv and he says, Niv,
It's time for another delivery. Are you interested in helping me make this delivery?
Are you interested in paying me this time?
Oh, well, last time it went very bad. Of course.
It wasn't my fault.
It seems
You
to be
know,
a
I
running
understand
theme
that.
for you,
Yeah,
Niv.
that's your answer for everything.
I tell you what, Niv.
What can I say? A
Last
lot of
time we lost about 100 gold worth of product. I would be willing to take a chance on you again. 5 gold.
And how much are we delivering?
Just a simple package, not more than £5.
And
Yeah, the metric is non-matched
I turn to the
standard.
other three and say, don't worry, I'll take the package. You guys, I'll worry about the payment and the package.
So Grogil, being an idiot, asks, "What's in the package?"
To who? To me or to
Niv or
Both of you.
My friend, there are some certain things that we do not talk about. You
Don't make me do it.
understand.
Don't make me do it.
I'm gonna turn to Grogil and say, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. It's a necessary requirement of
business.
Exactly. It's a necessary requirement of the business that we are involved in.
I back down.
So I'm gonna
Niv.
ask where Niv needs to take the package, though.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I say that's a good question.
Indeed. I have a friend whose name is Tucson. He lives in Theondir. And he has a little place called the Rose. If you bring the package to him, I say this. You can take the horses. Take my horses. When I want them back. When you are done in Theondir, you come back to me with the horses. Men, take it with you. Man. But you must bring the package to my friend Tucson.
Tucson in Arizona. Okay. I kind of look at Tim a little bit like, all right, I'm fine with it. I'm gonna if this is gonna get us there, maybe this is the best way.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a good break point, guys. I want to play. I still want to play, but my kids are.
So we'll say this. Danish takes you guys around the back, and he saddles you up with 4 horses, and he comes up to you, Niv, and he's got a package that's wrapped up in brown paper with several layers of rope around it, and he places it in your hands, and he looks in your eyes, and he says to you, but remember, not like the last time. This one must come here. And he hands the package over to you, and you take it, place it into your saddlebags, and the 4 of you hop onto your horses now, and you begin to gallop out of the northern gate of Haldir, through a row of houses leading out into a series of rolling hills with grass heading out into the central part of the island of Theondir, heading north towards the city called Middendorf, which is your passage to get you across the great river that cuts through the center of Theondir. Middendorf. Yep, heading to Middendorf, which is it's one of the places to cross the largest river of Theondir. You don't want to try a fording because it's quite a fast-flowing river. So you're heading north towards the city of Middendorf, where you will hopefully be able to arrive there before the evening falls, so you don't have to camp out in the middle of Theondir.
Okay.
Considering we don't have any food or tents or anything.
No, we bought food before we left.
Oh, we did?
Well,
we got rations, don't we?
I bought a mirror. Did you buy food?
Don't we have rations?
Mostly beer.
I have 5 days of rations and tinderbox, water skin.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Have been rolled.
So you have more than enough. So you guys ride out. It's about 3:00 in the afternoon, but you know that with a good ride, you should be able to arrive into Middendorf in the evening, and there you'll be able to hopefully find some lodging for the evening. And that will be a good place for us to wrap up for this session number 2.